Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Caden Cleveland here with the Oklahoma Senate again. Of course, just like every week, we're joined with our President Pro Tem for another episode of OK Senate on Deck. Pro Tem, thanks for taking the time just to sit with us real quick and update everybody on what's going on here at the Capitol.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've always wanted to say, hey, what's going on? I want your role.
Okay, next week, you're going to start it out.
Hey, it's a great treat. Hey, what's going on? We have Caden Cleveland. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's perfect. Absolutely. Then next week, that's going to be the run. Okay, you heard it right here.
Yeah.
So, Pro Tem, just to update everybody outside the building of what's been going on here, COLAs, the cost of living adjustments, has been a huge topic as of late. Can you kind of give us an update on where we're at in the process with those? And I think it was House Bill 2304 was the one that was getting all the attention. Can you just kind of walk us through where we're at in that?
Yeah, there's a lot of misnomers. First off, a lot of people don't understand what COLAs are. It's a cost of living adjustment on retirement or pension plans. I've gotten a lot of correspondence on some social media where current teachers or firefighters or police officers have emailed or messaged me and said, hey, I need a raise. The COLAs are not dealing with current salaries.
Gotcha, okay.
We made an average of a $6,100 investment in teacher salaries last year. The discussions are ongoing on that. 2304 had nothing to do with that.
Gotcha, okay.
It's retirees that are already in the pension system. So 2011, we made some really aggressive reforms to the pension systems because they were going toward a direction of bankruptcy. So everyone's retirement was in jeopardy.
Right.
So we had to make some really tough decisions. I was a brand new legislator.
Right.
At the
That
time.
would have been what, your first year here?
First year, yeah.
Wow, okay.
And so we had to make some really tough decisions. But they were the right decision, and they've the proof is in the fruit that we've seen.
Yes, absolutely.
So the fact that we're even having a discussion about cost of living adjustments on these pensions is thanks to the leadership that, and I try never get partisan on this taping, or I'm very nonpartisan on most of my conversations. But Republicans, when we took over, we inherited a pension system that had been stolen from, had been used and abused. And so we made some really tough reforms.
Right.
I mean, they were tough politically to get passed.
Right.
And you've seen the trajectory of these funds go upward. A lot of people attribute that, well, we've had a good market. That is an important part. Won't deny that. But we've also invested over the top, not just the employer-employee contributions.
Right.
Another $3.4 billion in addition over those since 2011. That's money that could have gone to other priorities of state government. It could have gone toward teacher salaries or classroom sizes or roads and bridges or any myriad of other issues. But because of years of mismanagement, and I say abuse and neglect of these pension funds, we've had to, off the top, put an enormous amount of money, like last fiscal year, this current fiscal year, over $300 million just in the teacher retirement system, not from employer contributions, not from employee contributions.
That's on top of everything else.
And so we really are having to pay for the sins of the past.
Wow.
And so one of the reforms that was made in 2011 that I voted for was to say, hey, you have to study what you're going to do. You can't just hand out COLAs like candy.
Yep.
You've got to make sure that you can afford them.
Right.
And it's to the benefit of the retiree, both current and future,
Yep.
that system is there for the long term. And so what we did, it's been reported that the COLAs are dead. That's not true. It's been reported that COLAs have been voted out of the committee. That is not true.
Right.
What happened was we followed the law. And we followed Senate rules, more importantly, Oklahoma state law, that says that if you're going to give a increase in benefit, which a COLA would be an increase in that benefit, you have to study it. And so what we're doing is we're going to have a true actuarial statement on all 6 of the funds. Furthermore, there's 6 components they have to look at on all those funds to report back to the legislature. And then we can make a decision next session. At least it delays it 6 months probably until somebody can see a COLA in their check. If you don't get the emergency clause, which is a technical thing, in the Senate and the House. And then it could be delayed till September. More than likely not this July, but July of next year, you could have them rather than January. So we understand. I mean, people's prescription costs have gone up, people's health insurance, people's grocery bill, people's electric bill. We're sensitive to that.
So just so I'm understanding the conversation and getting a full picture here, it sounds to me like House bill came over and it got a lot of attention, and rightfully so. It's a very hot topic right now. It's just the 2% COLA. You mentioned the cost of prescriptions and things like that have increased, so it's something that's definitely being recognized. But the legislative process, mandates that this be studied before it can be passed by the legislatures. Am I understanding that correct?
Yeah, okay, exactly. Gotcha. And it's not just a simple how much money you're going to take out and where's the percentage. It's a much more complex analysis, because there's a compounding effect. When you take out that money, you're not just taking it out for, let's say I'm a current retiree, you're going to retire in 3 years. We also have to take into account future retirees going out at that same rate. And what is their current contribution rate? There's a lot that has to go into it. And it doesn't just impact, most importantly impacts the viability of those pensions. It could truly bankrupt those pensions if we're not careful. But it also impacts the rate at which we can borrow money as a state through bonds, cities,
there's a whole lot
counties,
of different effects that it has beyond just these pension systems.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. Well, I think the last fiscal impact that was on that bill was $425 million or thereabouts. Definitely worth looking into when you're talking about that amount of sort of impact to the state.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, absolutely. Well, moving forward into this week is deadline week, I believe, for House bills to be heard on the Senate floor. Does it look like it's going to be a busy week?
Deadline weeks are always busy.
It's kind of a loaded question, isn't it?
Yeah,
of course.
That was rhetorical.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, what do you expect with this week coming up? Is there any big things for us to pay attention to, or?
Well, April showers bring May flowers, and a lot of times April brings chaos. But I don't expect chaos. I think we've worked extremely well together with the governor in the House. There's been hiccups. There's always going to be when you have two human beings or more. They're not going to agree all the time. And it's healthy for us to have disagreements to make sure we're spending the people's money wisely and enacting policy wisely. So there's been a couple hiccups. I'm not going to lie about that. But we've run extremely smooth up to this point.
That's great.
When you're in April, budgets start coming together. Rumors of budgets come together. Rumors that this program or that program is going to go away, or this group's going to be hurt, start spreading more viciously at this time. But we're staying the course. We're investing in core services. We're making sure that education stays a priority, that diversion programs in the criminal justice arena are a priority, that transparency in the budget. Our priorities have not shifted. We're just getting down to brass tacks, as they say. So we're getting down to the very final few weeks of session to be able to get things done.
Gotcha.
So the budget will start to coalesce. You'll start to hear a lot more on that. We're in a much better position than we've been in the past few years, but we've got to make sure we're good stewards of those dollars.
That's great.
And so our subcommittee chairs have been meeting with their House counterparts. Our appropriations committee chair, Roger Thompson, has been working extremely diligently with his counterpart. You've been doing your budget breakdown with him, and I keep hearing good things about that. So I hope people are gleaning from that. I think they are. I hear that around the state, actually. So it's congealing. This is the time that everything either comes together or falls apart. And I really think that it's coming together nicely right now.
That's awesome. And you talk about all the progress that's been made so far. I mean, I think the report as of this past week was that 35 bills have been signed by the governor that have come out of the Senate or Senate bills. Just a massive amount of progress that's been made in, this short amount of time that we've been in session so far. So
it's been a very good process. It's frustratingly slow for some people. But I tell you, if you're on the other side of changing the law, it's a good thing that you can't just change
that way
it
for a reason.
It's a very the founders of the U.S. had a lot of wisdom when they did that, and
Absolutely.
we modeled ours as a state.
Absolutely.
It's been a very, very good process. It's frustrating, I know, especially if people are on the outside. But this deadline, to get back to the core of your question a question ago,
Mm-hmm.
is the deadline to get House bills off of our floor or send them to conference committee,
Right.
and for the House to do the same with Senate bills. So it's going to be, I think we had 225 bills that were eligible at the beginning of this process, House bills in this process. We got through 67 last week.
Great. Okay.
And so we've got a lot of work to do this week. And so you'll see probably some late evenings, and just the work of the legislature continues on.
Love it. Absolutely. Well, Pro Tim, we're about out of time here, but before we sign off, do you have any last signing off words here for us?
No, I just can't wait to be able to say, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm gonna practice
next week. One more week.
Yeah,
okay? Absolutely.
I'm gonna practice. I don't know if I can do it as good as you, but I'm gonna try.
It's been 21 episodes of practice here so far. So
I know.
I mean, you know, can't take too much credit. It's just been a lot of work. So
I will practice. And I intend to meet expectations. I hope those are low expectations, though.
Love it. Well, I mean, I'm setting them, so yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But hey, guys, thank you so much for joining us. You can view any of our videos if you're just joining us. This is your first episode. We have plenty of other episodes you can tune in on. They're all available at protem.oksenate.gov. Here soon, we'll be available on iTunes as well, so stay tuned for that. We'll be having more info on that. And also, you can email us directly if you have any direct questions for Pro Tem Treat at ondeck@oksenate.gov. And beyond that, Senator Treat, got anything else?
No, it's going to be a good week.
Right on. Also, day past it, but happy Easter to everybody out there. We kind of missed over that, but
yeah, great time with family, and I
absolutely.
hope everyone else had a tremendous time.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, thanks guys for joining us, and we'll be back again next week. So we'll see you then. Bye.